What resources do you have that you can employ today to overcome your debt? You have more resources than you think you do. It can be daunting to take on a new way of living, and it's easy to get bogged down in the overwhelming aspects of change versus focusing on the resources you have to make your goals easier to achieve. Before you get frustrated with your goal, take stock of the resources you have on hand to get you started on your journey. Do you have access to the internet where you live? If you have access to the internet, you have access to tons of free entertainment. Transitioning away from streaming services is a big step, but you'll get used to not having HBO, Disney, or Netflix really quickly. Free entertainment comes from the following resources. Libby, the library app. Not all libraries offer Libby, but they more likely than not offer some kind of digital download software where you can access free books through your library system. This is tremendously convenient. It does require that you have some kind of device for reading on an e-reader. You can use your phone, you can use a tablet, you can use your computer, or if you have a Kindle device, you can use something of that nature. So that is an investment, well worth the investment. I spent $100 on my Kindle Paperwhite in 2011, 2010, somewhere around there. I've had it since, and it's served me well over that period of time for $99. Your library may also have a streaming app that is available to you so you can stream free video. I use both Canopy and Hoopla through my library system. There are hundreds of thousands of videos available through those two services that are free and easy to obtain. You can stream on YouTube. You can stream films, or you can stream other kinds of fun content. You can use free streaming services like Peacock or Tubi that offer streaming with ads. Next, consider consolidating your errands. If you drive to work, take time to run errands before, after, or during your lunch break. Consolidating errands will save gas money. I almost never run out for a one-off errand, and with gas prices as they are, wow, this could save you a lot of money over the year. Especially if you're already headed off to work anyway, just combine things. This can also work if you go to a track to run, go after work. Do you want to participate in an in-person meetup? Find one that meets after work so you can go there directly on your way home. Another way to incorporate frugal living that's easy and a resource that's readily available is to cook your meals. You can save up to $2,300 per year if you learn to cook. Opt for a plant-based diet, and you can save up to $750 a year by forgoing meat. Entertain at home versus getting together at local eateries, or meet up for a walk in the park or a hike in the woods. This is a great way to engage in lively conversation with no time limits. You won't have a server pressuring you to vacate your table, you'll get fresh air and exercise, and you'll not spend a lot of money on a restaurant meal, which will likely be unhealthy to boot. Another readily available resource that you have that you can gain for free easily is a spreadsheet template for budgeting. Find a spreadsheet template on the internet for free and use it to help you better understand the scope of debt-free living, a project that you're working towards in 2023. A quick search will allow you to download a document that you can use or modify to meet your needs. Buy a needle and thread and mend your socks. This is an example of a task we should all aim for. Maintain your items versus viewing them as disposable. These days, there is a whole movement of disposable fashion or fast fashion. Fast fashion is problematic for many reasons, with the worst offense being the exploitation of workers, poor wages, and poor working conditions. Many of the individuals working in the fast fashion industry live in developing economies, and the wages are horrendously low. For example, in Ethiopia, a garment worker can expect to earn between $32 and $122 per month, depending on their experience level. Even in the United States, where wages are higher, many garment workers will earn well under the minimum wage due to the exploitive practices that go unchecked. There is also an environmental cost to disposable everything. I'm sure you can imagine a landfill. Anything you toss will end up in a landfill. You can save money by keeping everything you purchase in good working order, either by mending your socks or taking your car in for a regular oil change. Learn to go without. This is harder for some than others, but ultimately, learning to restrict your consumption will save money. As well, I find that I get a bump of satisfaction when I use self-control. I realize this might be a weird personality trait and not a reflection of my awesome willpower. I'm okay with this. In this day and age, we can sit on our couch or in our bed and view items to purchase that will arrive within a few days to our doorstep. Imagine how odd this ability would be for anyone even from 25 years back. We can reliably have anything we want delivered within 2 or 3 days. Years back, I heard Brock Winstead read his essay, Living in the Future. And what he has to say sums it up well. I'll link the KQED Perspective episode in the show description so you can have a listen. He begins by talking about his robot vacuum, and his entire perspective is delightful and a good reminder of our good fortune. In his perspective, he states that he lives like a magical space emperor, a term that I have written down and pasted on my computer to remind myself how lucky I am to exist in this time of excellent healthcare, access to all the knowledge of the world on my phone. I can speak with my loved ones regardless of their location in the world. In fact, I can speak with them on a video call. That is truly living like a magical space emperor. Having the power of a magical space emperor comes with great responsibility, and we have to exert control over our impulses, otherwise we will be commanded by instant gratification versus being respectful of our circumstances. I control my impulse buying by adding items to my cart on Amazon or other shopping sites, but I don't head to the checkout right away. I wait a few days and then I relook at my cart. More often than not, I don't need or even really want would have been an impulse buy had I checked out immediately. I expand this effort to include my impulsive buying of takeout meals, candy, or other impulse buys that come up. I understand from my long history with myself that often my impulse buys have more to do with my state of mind than with my need for the item I'm considering. When I'm tired, I make poor choices. When my self-esteem is down, I make poor choices. If I'm feeling sad, which is almost always due to being overly tired, I make poor choices. Acknowledging this feature of my personality allows me to have the proper perspective and helps me manage my impulses. Do you have a trigger that causes you to make poor choices? This is a good time to sort out your impulses so that you can strategize a way to avoid making bad choices. Once you have your triggers identified, you can create a method to manage well and not plunge into a habit of impulse spending. Next time on Page Power, planning for a few mindful big picture purchases in the coming year.